All right, to start with, you need the laptop in order to do the live stream. That's in this bag right here in the cupboard of the workroom. Also over here is the iPad, and you can use that to control the sound system, but this is just a basic on how to do the live stream. And if the sound system is set up correctly, you won't need the iPad. On the back wall of the church here, we need to press this button on the white unit in order to turn it on. That turns on the sound system, but it also turns on the switcher for the wireless that's necessary in order to do the live stream. Now I'm out on the desk that we use for live streaming. You'll need to log in to the church's computer, use the password info that's right here. Now I opened up the Chrome browser, and it wants to know who's using it. You notice that you got me here, Eric Hemming here. I'm not sure about this one and the passwords for that. So I just set up my own Gmail, Chrome password and get in there. I have to have my phone with me because I logged in with my password, but it wants to make sure it's me. So I have to look at my phone here to get that. Okay, I'm on the Google search page. You can see that's me, my picture up in the corner. So I'm on my account. So I just go in here and go to YouTube. Now, I first come up to YouTube, you'll notice up there that it already says Augustana. In that corner, if I had been logged in, that upper corner would look like that with my picture in it. But because we want to go live on the church's YouTube page, I click on it, go to switch account, and choose Augustana Lutheran Church. Now at that point, I click on the create button and click on go live. Don't worry, you're not going to go live yet. It just goes to this ready screen in YouTube. And it's just waiting there. And this line right here, it says start sending us your video from streaming software. And so that's what we're going to do next. Okay, under this box, I usually take that off and put it on the floor, but you might be able to open the top of it and move it there. Underneath the box, you got a sheet that shows the camera angles. We'll talk about that later. And remote to run the cameras. And then you have this machine. This is the ATEM machine, ATEM Mini Pro. And it's what sends our video feed through this black cable there into the out into the internet. So on the back of this machine, right in that corner, you see there's a power button that I got to plug in. So I'll do that now, and you can latch it with the twist thing there. Okay, so then it comes on. It looks like this. Now I'm going to go back here. Now in this video, I'm not going to explain how to set up this info, but I am going to do something today because we're going to do a practice. But the important part I want to change right now is this, and change it to private. And then I'm going to save that. Done and save. Now, the only reason I did that is because we're going to do a practice video here, and we don't need to have it go out to the public because there's not going to be anything on it. You'll notice that this big monitor came on back here behind the computer. It came on automatically once I turned the ATEM on, and it got a signal. The inputs in the back here are cameras audio, camera, and then the output going to the video monitor is one of these. And this is a recording drive, Ethernet, and the power cable. You generally don't have to mess with those. So next thing we're going to do is pick up the remote here. And we have remote repeaters on the wall. Up there you can see those two black dots. They're wired to the cameras in the back wall. And those cameras are number 1. And you'll notice I touched the 1 here to control that. And then I'm going to power on number 1. So I'm going to point it up at the repeater. And watch the screen here when I do that. You see camera 1. It's turning on. Now it's looking down probably. Let's see if I can see that. Nope, I can't quite see it from where I'm at here. Anyway, it spins around and comes back to settle on that picture. So camera 1 is on. Now, camera 2 is along the wall. So I'll press 2. And it's way up there along the wall. So the repeater is right up there, right where the new black windows end. And so I'm going to press the power and turn on camera 2. And you see back on the screen that camera 2 is spinning around. It does that to orientate itself. Okay, camera 3, we don't have a camera hooked up to that right now, so you don't have to worry about that. But we do have one in camera 4. Camera 4 is the one that's in the middle of the church. Camera 1 is just right above here, right above where you're sitting right there. Camera 4 is the one that's dead center back in that part. Now, camera 4 is a newer model camera, so it does something different. I will press 4. Did I do 4? Yep, I did. Press 4, and then I'm pointing up here because that's where the repeater is, and I press power. And you look back at the screen, you don't see anything happening over here on camera 4. You don't see anything happen. You wait, and if you're like me, I thought it was not working at first. But camera 4 is new. It doesn't turn on its video until now, after it's already adjusted itself and spun around in circles. So remember, camera 4 is delayed. Okay, so there's our 3 cameras. All right, now let's say you're just going to use the center camera with kind of a long-range shot. What you want to do is go to the ATEM, press number 4, because that's the camera in the middle. Then you see up here the program. Program is what's going out when we eventually start our software. That's actually the part that's going out there, number 4. Now that's kind of a wide shot, so I'll show you how to adjust that. You go over to the sheet here, you look at camera 4. It's got a long shot, the Holden place for Holden evening prayer, pulpit lectern, altar close-up. Long shot choir is number 6. Let's try the long shot choir and see how that looks. I go back here. Now remember, it's camera number 4. And then you just press the 6. And you can probably see that it moved up like that. Kind of a long shot still. If you want to move it closer, there's a zoom button here. And maybe about like that. That way, if you're only using one camera shot, you can see the pulpit and the lectern and the front. This ring here, the zoom button is down there. The ring button here, if I push this button down, the camera tilts more towards the floor. Like for the Holden evening prayer, it's more like that because the pastor stands in the middle. But if I use this ring this way, it brings it more up there, and you can kind of get it centered and get it to look like what you want. Now over here, camera number 1, you see it's a long shot. If you wanted camera 1 to point at the pulpit, which I usually do, I go to camera number 1, look at the sheet. For number 1, pulpit is number 3. So you go point it and put 3. And you see camera 1 is a close-up for the sermon and the gospel lesson. Okay, now our program is still camera 4. Let's say we wanted to go to the sermon. We press 1. And now the program, which is always that window up there, shows the pulpit. Now, I often put camera 2 on the lectern, which is preset number 4. So you always press 4. Oh, 2, I gotta go this way. Camera 2's over there. Okay, now we didn't see that move, but you can see camera 2 is ready. For that, let's go to here, select camera 2. The program that would be set up for somebody reading the scripture lessons. Now, one thing on the remote that you don't want to press, don't press the button that says preset or the one that says reset. You don't need those. Those will just change. They'll either delete our settings we have on the sheet, we'll have to reprogram, or it'll change one of them. It'll either delete or change. So all you do is press the camera you want and the button that corresponds to the preset. Don't hit the actual preset or reset buttons. The other buttons you can press, like this one to tilt, this one and go side to side. Like let's say it's not lined up at the lectern and I do this. Oh, number 2, I gotta point it this way. So that swings it that way, and this swings it back that way. Or if it's a little shorter reader, maybe you wanna do that and tilt it down. You know, it depends. I usually don't move them too much. Remember, I was on camera 2, and that's why these buttons all worked. There's a fast zoom. The other stuff I don't think you have to worry about. They're on automatic focus, so you don't have to worry about that. All right. Now, we are ready to start live streaming. In the dock, the part at the bottom here with the programs, right? That application called ATEM software control, it's red with that in the middle of it. You'll need to click on that, and we'll let that app come up. It'll take a little bit for it to load. If nothing has been changed, it's automatically already connecting to the ATEM, so that's good. These are the still shots. I put those in there at various times so that they're ready to go. Whichever one you want, you drag over here. Whoops, I didn't get it in the right spot. There, got to drag it down into the lower part, I think. Okay, now over here, that graphic is there. Now, if I want to see the graphic, remember we had cameras 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right above here is still. I press still, and now the still is in the program. You have some choices. Second Sunday of Lent, or I can make it say, the service will begin shortly. At the end, we usually do this, just showing the permissions we have to use that music and stuff like that. And then if you wanted to do hold an evening prayer, you can make your own graphics if you want. Looks like I have that set up for this Wednesday already. Okay. Anyway, I'll change it back to that. Okay. Now, in this program, the ATEM software control, those graphics are under this button, the media. Now that's what it opened up to automatically. I didn't do anything. Don't worry about this button, camera. Those are special cameras that can be controlled from here. Our cameras are not hooked up for that. This is audio. This is set up all right. If I clap loud here, you saw those green buttons go up there. That's because the audio is already set. This is always on when you turn it on, unless it gets changed. That should always be red light audio on when you turn it on. So you don't need to mess with either of these two. The media one you'll want to have if you want to change graphics. And then the most important one is the switcher. So those are all in that red program, you know, the ATEM software control application. But you just have to click on whichever button at the bottom you want to use. Okay, you see over here, live stream's off. We're eventually going to go to YouTube. You don't have to change any of that stuff. Unless something happens, those are all going to be good. And here's your magic button on the air. So, before I press that, underneath this window of this app, you'll see that I have the YouTube up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the on air, and then I'm going to go to the YouTube so you can see it start up. So here we go, on air. You see the red button. There's a little bit of a delay. Oh, here it comes. It says end stream, which means we are going. And there it is. It's coming up already. Now, let's say I change to camera 4. You see the program shows camera 4. This one still shows that. That's because the YouTube has a delay. There's a delay of, I don't know, 45, oh, there it is. It changed, okay? Let's go to camera 2. Let's say there's some readings. There's your program window on the screen. And down here, it still shows camera 4 because of the delay. Oh, there it switched to that. Let's say I want to go camera 1 for the sermon. It's still on the lectern there, even though it's sermon up there, but it'll change eventually. And there it is. All right, remember if you want to go to the still shot, it's the button still right there. And that puts that still thing. This program window is always whatever is live. Okay, so things are going along. If you would click the end stream button, your live thing is over and you can't restart it. You'd have to come up with a completely new one. Stream health, looks good. No one's watching because this is a private video, it's not a public one. On Sundays, there might be, after you get it started, 1 or 2, sometimes like 5, 6 people will be watching that. And then some people watch it later. Okay. Let's say that you want to end the stream. All you have to do to end the stream is go back to your software control panel. And this is the ATEM software control app, and you're on the switcher app. If you click this off button, now the stream is stopping. So then I go back to the YouTube page, which is right behind here now, right there. Okay, and then I click on this, end stream. It says, do you really want to do that? And I say yes. And then this shows that the stream is finished. You can just dismiss that. It has the old graphic because this information was old from. You'll notice this is not red on air button going anymore. So that's how you make a live stream. Now when you get done, to put stuff away, I always do this. Camera 1, which is up here, power off. You see camera 1 went off. Camera 2, back this way, power. Camera 2 went off. Camera 4, power. And it powers off immediately. It doesn't have that delay of powering on like it did before. The still will always appear there until we either quit our computer or we turn this off. Now there's no switch on this. You reach back and you take the power out like that. And you can just close up this computer if you want to. You know, what I'll probably do today is I'm gonna log out. And that way, whoever does it next would be be able to log in under their stuff. All right, I hope that helps. Notice that the screen went off once the ATEM was off for a while and the cameras weren't giving a picture. That shuts off automatically. And then to put this stuff away, I just put the remote right there, cover that with that. Put the box back on to keep the dust out of it. And then you put the computer back in the workroom and you should be done.
Met this last en dat is net. Nou, er is er een eeuwen op zijn surf te zien. Er is dus de al hebben.